Hey guys, it's Megan. Welcome back here to the Wolterman Homestead, and today I figure it's about time that we did a garden tour video. I've just been kind of sitting out here just listening because it's so peaceful out here this evening. I've actually had a little dragonfly friend flying around. I took several pictures of him, so I'll probably drop him in here somewhere in this video. But he was really pretty. He was like a real light blue, and he had like blue, like a darker blue wings. Like, he was just really neat. So he's been flying around here and checking some things out. But it's just a peaceful evening. The kids are on the other side of the yard playing. I have my little shadow here. Just chilling, and Dylan's over here working in the garage. So let's check out the garden and show you the successes and the failures of our garden this year. So this little front bed was going to be a melon patch, but I have tried and tried and tried to get melons to grow here in these mounds, and I just haven't had any luck. So I'm going to try one more time to get some seeds started, to get them in the ground here, and hopefully we'll have some sort of melons. Okay, here's the front of the garden. This bed I planted similar to last year, only I put the sunflower in the bed versus outside the bed. But we've got tomatoes. I cannot find tomato cages around here, so I have these stakes from last year, and I'm not gonna use these all season. They're just for temporary. But I bought these really neat tomato clips. I had ordered these off My Gardener last year, but I just placed a larger order off Amazon. It was like $15, I think, for like, I think it was like 150 of them. But they're real easy to use. Versus I used t-shirts last year and just cut them into pieces, but this is way easier. Well, I've got a marigold right here. We've got more tomatoes, and then this is holy basil. There's another marigold right there. And then these along this cattle panel are rattlesnake beans, which Family Homestead sent us seeds for that. So shout out to Family Homestead. Thank you for that. Go check out their channel. I will leave it linked down below, and then also in this little iCard. And then this is pineapple mint. Isn't it pretty? Beautiful, variegated, and it smells incredible. But I bought it last year, and it had listed it as an annual, but it came back thick, like to the point of it spilling out on the side, and it actually broke this container. This is some German chamomile. And then this bed I have like designated as Dylan's bed for him to do whatever he wants. But I did plant some yellow squash right here. And then I put a borage right here, and I've never planted borage before or grown it, but it is like a prickly little plant. It is prickly. This is a cayenne plant that he just bought, and then I have sweet marjoram on the other side. And then this is an eggplant. It's a very sad eggplant. And the one on the other side is a very sad eggplant. Then I've got some nasturtiums. There's a nasturtium there, and then there's one right here. And then here, this is an okra. And then you can tell where this okra had been, something came and ate it. And then these are Dylan's peppers. I have no idea what is what. This is his little patch. So he's planted them how he wanted and where he wanted. But I did look, and I saw he's got some peppers hanging off of his plant, so he needs to come out here and pick those. But the other day when I was weeding this and this, can anybody guess? They are tomato plants that volunteered from last year. So I need to dig these up and move them. But I have no idea what variety they are, but they grew here. Oh, look, there's another one right here. There's another one right here. I think this is a weed. I need to pull that, but there's no tomato plant right here. And then there's a sunflower here on the end. And then I think we ended up going with 3 rows of corn. So I'm pretty impressed with how tall our corn is. This is elderberry. I have a video on growing these from cuttings. Granted, these 2 cuttings have died, but this one is still living and surviving. I actually had some blooms right here the other day. And then this is this beautiful little sunflower. That's a sweet little bloom. There was a little bumblebee on it earlier flying around. And then our asparagus. And then these are potatoes. So this whole bed here, I planted potatoes. I've never grown potatoes before, so it's the first time, and I honestly don't feel like I did it right. But I will say last week, there were flowers everywhere, all over all these potatoes, and they were beautiful. And it brought pollinators, lots and lots of pollinators. So if they did anything, they helped the garden. Because, I mean, they were just beautiful little like white and purple flowers. And the pollinators were all over them and all over the garden. I thought I saw right here, there's little blossoms on it, but nowhere near what they looked like the other day. But yeah, I planted red potatoes and like your regular brown potatoes. So there was a row of each, but they're very tall. I feel like I should have covered them up or done something more, but we'll just kind of have to dig them up and just kind of see if we did it right or if we ended up getting anything. But like in all gardening, you learn from your mistakes, and you never learn unless you try. So that is kind of what we've done this year with these potato plants. And I mean, they're really pretty. Like, they have really neat leaves, and they're just really pretty to the garden. I did end up going and buying a couple strawberry plants for this planter because I didn't mulch them like I should have over winter, and so they all didn't come back like they should have. But I think this one's died. But hopefully I'll take better care of them and they'll come back. And then this is chocolate mint. I'm gonna water the garden this evening. It's been so hot, but this is chocolate mint and it smells really, really, really good. Dylan picked this little plant out. I'm honestly not sure what it is. He just picked it out and said he wanted to stick it in the garden. So I said, okay. And then we've got these tomato plants here. This is a sage. And then this is a giant sunflower. What do you see? What is that?
It's a zinnia.
Yeah? What color is it?
It's pink.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, and then I guess this one's gonna be purple.
It's kind of a lighter shade of pink. But aren't they pretty? Oh, that one's gonna be blooming here in a couple days. Be easy with it.
Couple.
Aren't they pretty?
Can we pick some of these?
No, right now we're gonna let them bloom.
No, these ones.
You want to pick one?
Yeah.
This trellis over here on this left side, I planted cucumbers over here, versus last year I'd planted them over here. So I've got muncher, cruncher cucumbers on this side, and then on this side I tried to grow some cucamelons and then also the jelly melon cucumber. So we'll just kind of have to see what comes up over here. And then I have some, I think that was more holy basil or cinnamon basil. It was some sort of basil. I don't remember, honestly. But I put a sunflower here because last year I had put a tomato there, and then I think I had like 2 tomatoes here. And I didn't have access to this tomato plant. So I figure bring in the pollinators with this big beauty. And then throughout the whole garden, every sunflower I think is a different variety. And then I think these are red kidney beans, and then I have green beans, or vice versa. I honestly forget. You'd think that I would have put a label over here, but I just totally forgot. So we will see which bean plant is which once the blooms and pods start growing. So it's kind of a mystery as to what we got growing on this trellis over here. Oh, I'm sitting here and I see little tomatoes. Can you see them? Aren't they cute? So this is the yellow pear tomato. You want to see them?
Yeah.
See if you can find them on this tomato plant right here.
One
Right there.
Here, one right there. One right here. One right there.
Yeah.
One up right
And
here.
then there's little tomatoes in here too. Right there. We have little blossoms going on.
They are so pretty.
But I've got, this is another tomato plant. And I've got all these tomato plants. That's a zinnia. I planted zucchini on this side of this trellis, and I actually planted 3 here, and it is too much for this one trellis. So I will probably end up removing probably this middle guy so that they can spread out. And then on this side, I planted some loofah gourds, but something has been chomping on these leaves. I've got a garden muncher. But they're like, I guess this one's eating a little bit too. Have to keep our eyes open for him. But this one's starting to vine out here to climb. And this bed is tomatoes as well. And we have this little sunflower. And this tomato plant. And then I was gonna say I planted, there's a nasturtium down here. And I was thinking that there was another one in here somewhere. Oh, I see him. Might have to move him. He's over there in that corner right there. So there's a nasturtium right here and then right there. And there's a little tomato on this plant. I think this tomato plant right here is just absolutely beautiful. This is the silver fir tomato. What is it? It's the silver fir tree tomato. I said that wrong, but it's just, I don't know. Just real delicate little leaves versus, you know, the traditional great big leaves. It's just real pretty. To me, it's like, I don't know, I think it reminds me of like lace. Like a lacy tomato plant. I don't know, maybe that's crazy, but he's a pretty little plant. And then we have this new guy. We did not have this little bed last year. So this is a new bed. I've got a nasturtium right here. And then this tomato plant was one of those little suckers that I had mentioned in one of the videos of the kids. It was like a sucker and you planted it in the ground and it grew. But he was actually out in the greenhouse and I brought him out here. And then I planted onions on either side. There's 2 rows of onions. I've got purple leaf basil right here, although it's starting to like turn green. And then I planted a tomato. He was a volunteer. I found him out in the yard, so I transplanted him here. And then over here behind him is cinnamon basil. I need a weed, if y'all can tell. And then that is another tomato plant. It's on the other side. And then this is another cinnamon basil as well. But then we've got another really pretty tomato plant. And then I planted all these tomato plants on this side of the trellis to then kind of climb. And then I've, again, been using these little clamps to help stake them up and into place. But I need to come through and prune everything. This is I was real excited about this one. This is the, I don't even know how you say it. Wisp, right there. Wisconsin, I don't even know, y'all. So this tomato plant I was really excited about because it was kind of a peach colored fruit and it was supposed to be kind of soft. So I'm excited to try it. There's that cinnamon basil. There's another tomato plant. This is a sun globe tomato. It's got a couple tomatoes on it. And this tomato is just really big. This is a yellow pear tomato plant too. So that's kind of where the garden is at the moment. These little plants went to the garden graveyard. These little lovely ladies. Did y'all see him? Hey, handsome. What are you doing? There's Chopper. What are you doing? Can you tell everybody hi? Shaggy. What do you think of that sunflower? Isn't it pretty?
I like it. But where did all the pollen go?
The pollen, that bee probably took some of it.
Oh. Yeah, then this is all for Mommy. That's okay.
Thank you for joining me out in the garden today with the garden tour. But I just wanted to send you guys over to HappyHello Homestead. It is my cousin. They just moved to Hawaii and they are setting up a homestead over in Hawaii. They are more active on Instagram, but they also have a YouTube channel. Their YouTube channel has mainly been trying new tropical fruits because Emily was born and raised here in Indiana, and you know, Hawaii is a totally different state, different country. In flavors and things like that, and so a lot of their videos are just trying new and different fruits. Can you tell everybody?
See
The moon? Yep.
A rocket ship.
Oh, in a rocket ship. But over on their Instagram page, they are much more active in sharing pictures and videos and things of what they have going on at the homestead. So thanks for joining us today. Can you say bye?
Bye! Bye!